Working After 80, Inspiring Stories of Americans Defying Retirement Norms. Working Beyond Retirement, the roles of Americans aged 80 and above. The landscape of work is changing dramatically for older Americans, and it's a topic that deserves our attention. As we delve into the lives of those aged 80 and above, we discover a surprising trend. Many are not just enjoying their retirement, but are actively engaged in various jobs. This raises intriguing questions about the nature of work, purpose, and financial security in later life. Harvey Mendelson exemplifies the spirit of reinvention. Over the past 60 years, he has transitioned from stockbroking to real estate, ventured into car sales, and even launched several businesses. Now, at the age of 88, he has found a new passion in photography. Residing in California, Mendelson operates a photo gallery and a digital printing service at a local theater, where he showcases his artwork and creates promotional materials. Although the financial rewards are modest, he finds contentment in his work. "I don't need much," he explains, emphasizing that he has no debts and has maintained a lifestyle that doesn't require excessive spending. He believes that the secret to his financial stability lies in not inflating his lifestyle post-retirement. "You retire at 65, and in 3 days, you're 80, he reflects. "It's essential to engage in activities that bring you joy. And for me, that has always meant maintaining my independence." Mendelson is part of a growing demographic. Nearly 550,000 Americans aged 80 and older are still in the workforce. In just a few years, he will join the ranks of the 36,000 individuals who are 90 or older and still working. In recent months, Business Insider has interviewed over 100 individuals from the silent generation, those born between 1928 and 1945, who continue to work part-time, either out of necessity or personal choice. Their professions range from bookkeepers and lawyers to forklift operators and employees at Home Depot. A majority express a genuine enjoyment of their work, valuing the social interaction and activity it provides. Many are in good health, and about half of those interviewed indicated that while the extra income is beneficial, it is not essential for their survival. Some individuals work to supplement their Social Security and other retirement funds, driven by concerns about financial security should they lose their job or face health challenges. A number of them have continued working despite serious health issues, including cancer and heart conditions. This highlights a significant reality. Health problems often prevent many older Americans from entering or remaining in the workforce. This demographic is part of the fastest-growing segment of the labor market. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Americans aged 75 and older are now twice as likely to be employed compared to the early 1990s, and this trend is expected to persist as pension plans diminish and Social Security faces potential depletion by the mid-2030s. As life expectancy increases and perceptions of retirement evolve, more individuals in their 80s are beginning to see work as a positive aspect of their lives. Experts in aging and retirement suggest that continued employment can help older adults maintain cognitive sharpness and overall well-being. However, not all experts agree on the benefits of working past the age of 70. Teresa Ghilarducci, an economics professor at the New School and a researcher in retirement security, argues that for many older individuals, working conditions can be harsh and detrimental to their health. She points out that poor working environments can lead to reduced life expectancy and feelings of shame. To gain a clearer picture of the aging workforce in America, Business Insider analyzed data from the 2023 Census Bureau's American Community Survey. This analysis included individual responses from Americans aged 80 and older, compiled by the Minnesota Population Center's Integrated Public Use Microdata Series, IPUMS. The goal was to understand how many older individuals are working, the types of jobs they hold, and how their demographics and income levels compare to the broader population. #employment trends among older workers. The most common occupations for those aged 80 and above include managerial roles, retail sales, legal professions, driving, and real estate. The leading industries employing these older workers are elementary and secondary education, construction, and religious organizations. In 2023, the median income for workers aged 80 and older was $57,100. Approximately one-third of these individuals earned less than $40,000, indicating that many may be working part-time or in lower-paying positions, possibly to supplement their Social Security benefits. Conversely, around 26% of this group earned over $100,000 annually, with more than 10% making at least $200,000. Among the 17,000 managers over the age of 80, the construction industry stands out as the most prevalent field, followed by financial services, consulting, mining, and scientific research. Nearly 2,400 individuals aged 80 and older are employed as construction managers, a figure that is nearly 4 times higher than the next largest sector. CEOs in their 80s and 90s are predominantly found in construction firms, executive offices, real estate, computer systems, and food services. Lawrence Yun, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, notes that real estate agents are often entrepreneurs who thrive on activity. The flexible hours associated with real estate make it an appealing option for retirees, providing not only financial benefits, but also the satisfaction of helping others. At 93, Bobby Beckham Sellers manages her rental properties on a part-time basis. Living in Tennessee, she is currently refurbishing a property she purchased 3 decades ago and has plans to do the same with 2 additional homes. She oversees around 30 properties in total. Encouraged by her late husband, Sellers launched a real estate company with just $1,000 in 1972, which has since grown to become one of the largest in her county. After years of managing the business, she retired and handed over the reins to her son about 7 years ago. Despite her retirement, she remains frugal and finds joy in her ongoing work. I truly enjoy what I do, and every moment spent working is fulfilling, Sellers shares. Leaving my real estate career was one of the toughest decisions I've ever made, and it took me 4 years to stop feeling guilty about not being in the office. In the construction sector, older workers are most commonly found in roles such as laborers, managers, carpenters, CEOs, plumbers, and electricians. Retail sales positions are also popular among this demographic, particularly in building materials, warehouse clubs, automobile dealerships, and clothing stores. Many retail workers reported earning slightly above minimum wage and took these jobs due to a lack of opportunities in their previous fields. Richard Jackson, an 81-year-old Marine veteran, founded a construction company 5 decades ago that remains operational today. After some acquisitions, he now oversees 3 companies alongside his children: C.R. Jackson, a grading and paving firm; Satterfield Construction, specializing in asphalt services; and N.W. White Company, which manages around 400 dump trucks across South Carolina. Together, Jackson and his children employ over 1,000 people and operate 11 asphalt plants, paving in 36 of the state's 46 counties. Jackson enjoys the flexibility of his role, often arriving later in the day for meetings while allowing his children to manage day-to-day operations. He still holds a commercial driver's license and occasionally drives a dump truck. His son, Stephen, emphasizes that they view themselves as stewards of their father's legacy rather than mere owners of the business. We consult with him on all strategic decisions to ensure he is aligned with our vision. Stephen Jackson explains. The profile of the typical 80-year-old worker. More than 10% of workers aged 80 and older reside in California, followed by Florida and New York. This demographic is slightly more likely to have been born in the United States compared to the general population. Interestingly, older working Americans tend to be more educated than their peers. Nearly 42% of this group holds a bachelor's degree or higher, compared to just under 27% of the overall population in the same age bracket. The workforce of older individuals is predominantly white and male, with nearly 60% being men, despite men making up only 40% of the total population aged 80 and above. The proportion of workers aged 80 and older has steadily increased over the past 4 decades. In 1980, only 2.9% of individuals in this age group were employed, but this figure rose to nearly 4% in 2019 and reached 4.2% in 2023. Leonard Carter, an 82-year-old resident of rural South Carolina, has spent much of his life working at his family's textile byproducts company, which recycles cotton and mill waste into new products. He recalls selling large loads of fiber fill for caskets at 50 cents per pound. Now he oversees operations, managing orders, coordinating shipments, and communicating with clients. It's much better than sitting in front of the TV all day, he remarks. Carter works approximately 20 hours a week and feels financially secure, with a high 6-figure IRA and a monthly Social Security income of $2,500. However, he acknowledges that his financial situation has not always been stable due to multiple marriages, rising costs, and challenging years in business. He travels for work to the Midwest and remains active in his community, participating in Rotary Club meetings and volunteering at local historic sites. "I tell people I'm coming out of this office feet first," Carter states. "It gives me a sense of purpose, knowing I'm contributing positively by recycling materials that would otherwise end up in landfills." Embracing part-time work for enjoyment. An analysis conducted by United for Alice, a part of United Way of Northern New Jersey, found that approximately 73% of the nearly 550,000 workers aged 80 and older earn above the Alice threshold, which is the minimum income required to cover basic living expenses. This indicates that most individuals in this age group are not working out of desperation for additional income. Although many still seek to supplement their Social Security benefits, Stephanie Hoops, the national director of United for Alice, notes that many seniors take on part-time jobs for a little extra financial security. Employers may also find value in hiring older workers. In certain regions, there is a significant struggle to find employees, particularly in retail and service sectors, and seniors can be more reliable, she explains. John Casson, now 86, has had a diverse career. While working in engineering, he began selling archery equipment from his basement, eventually hiring 6 part-time employees while maintaining his full-time job. Kassoon, who resides in Pennsylvania, has also contributed to an outdoor magazine and worked for a railroad rehabilitation company. Throughout his career, he invested his earnings wisely and lived frugally, occasionally indulging in purchases like an ATV. "To me, money is like a goose that lays a golden egg every Monday. If you consume it on Sunday, you won't have an egg on Monday," Kassoon explains. "I want to ensure I can handle any financial challenges that arise, and I refuse to let circumstances dictate my actions." Currently, Kassoon writes part-time for a magazine, boasting around $1.5 million in liquid assets and receiving approximately $80,000 in retirement income from Social Security and the railroad company. He does not consider himself retired and, following a heart attack last summer, enjoys staying active by engaging in various community tasks. "I'm a problem solver, and whenever I see an opportunity to help, I jump in," he shares. "I notice opportunities everywhere, almost as if I have special glasses on." Or a blend of both? Share your thoughts in the comments below.